What's up, YouTube? It's the Ineradicable Iconoclast. And we're going to offend somebody with this one, I'm sure. Unless you've been living under a rock, you have heard about Ray Rice and how he hit his then fiance, now wife, in an elevator. They caught it on video. You've probably heard about Adrian Peterson and his spanking / beating a child, depending on where you fall on the issue. You've probably heard about Greg Hardy, also accused of domestic violence. Now, the latter two have been suspended unofficially from the team. They are listed as exempt. They can't practice, they can't play. Ray Rice has been released from the team. Adrian Peterson also has lost his Nike endorsement because apparently they don't tolerate domestic violence, which is great. I mean, it's great that you don't tolerate domestic violence, but the issue I have is when you do tolerate it, because you are still endorsing Hope Solo, who is still playing. And if you haven't heard, back in June, she got drunk. She hit her half-sister. She hit her 17-year-old nephew. Now, I don't see the difference in domestic violence. Domestic violence is domestic violence. Whether it's your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, your child, your sister, or your nephew, you're still committing domestic violence. So why is it that she still keeps her endorsement? Why is it that she still is playing? Why? Well, the answer is actually really simple. The answer is sexism. Sexism against men, which is really the more prevalent one. Yes, there is sexism against women, but there's more sexism against men. And I'm going to explain. I'm not just going to leave it there. Between those four cases, the only difference between the four perpetrators is that one of them is a woman, and that one happens to be the one who still has her job. Because there's really no difference. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're hitting. There's certainly a wide variety of victims as far as the 3 NFL players I mentioned. Why is it that in this country, men are told never hit a woman under any circumstances, and then if you do, you're vilified for it? But if a woman hits another woman, or a woman hits her kid, or a woman hits her nephew, so on and so on and so on, nothing happens. Oh wait, there's a new story. But that's it. Hope Solo is still awaiting her trial, just like the other NFL players. So there is no difference, other than the fact that she is a woman. Yes, I am aware that if you look at the media, you look at movies, you see absolutely beautiful women that average men or average women feel you can't attain it. I know, looking at comic books, movies, video games. Now, I list comic books and video games because those are the ones that actually have artists who draw unrealistic images of women or program them however you want to put it. From an artistic sense, the sculptures, paintings, drawings, cartoons, so on and so forth, yes, those are not how real women look. But open up your mind, pay attention, and look. Because men in video games, men in sculptures, the men in paintings, men in all forms of these art that are not actually like real people in them, it's the same thing. You look at them, they are these muscle-bound, 0% body fat, golden gods that men can't attain. For every Barbie doll that offends women, there's a Ken doll. Think about it. That, honestly, think about it. Barbie has been redone time and time and time again because, well, that's not how women look. What about Ken? When's the last time Ken got a makeover? As far as I know, Ken has never gotten a makeover to have a little bit more of a, beer belly or anything like that. Why? Honestly, tell me. Tell tell me why you think that is. What part of that makes sense? That women go around screaming sexism because of the way that a Barbie looks, but we're not allowed to say anything about the way He-Man looks, or G.I. Joe, or, well, Ken. Any of this. What's up with that? The truth is because sexism does exist, and it benefits women. It really does. Men are expected to bow and scrape for women. We are told in pretty much every culture in this country, it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever, we are expected to worship our women simply because they're women. We have to pay. We have to open the door. Now, I am not saying that men should never open the door. Men should never pay for dinner. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it should be equal. And the truth is, you're right. There is a huge disconnect between men and women. To all the women's advocates out there, there really is. There is a huge disconnect between men and women, and sexism does exist. But you're looking at it the wrong way. Sexism benefits women currently because of cases like Hope Solo, where you don't get penalized for doing the same thing a man does because you're a woman. Or at least that seems to be the message that's going on. You're expected to be given free food. You're expected to be allowed to walk through every door because every man in the world is supposed to open the door, put his coat down in the puddle, and so on and so forth. So, gender roles really haven't changed much in the last 50 years, at least not as far as what is expected of men. And that is the true issue that I see here. Domestic violence, no tolerance, zero tolerance across the board. It doesn't matter whether you're a man hitting a woman, man hitting a man, a woman hitting a woman hitting another woman. It doesn't matter what gender you are, hitting anybody else. Domestic violence is just as bad as any other case. Obviously, the degree of injury does factor in, but I don't care whether it's a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man. Domestic violence is domestic violence by definition. So, but tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that Hope Solo should continue to play? If so, I'm dying to hear why. What your justification is that she should still be able to do it. Do you think that I am way off base on this one? Do you think that maybe women do still have it a hell of a lot harder than men? Do you think that men have it harder than women? Or do you think that all of these little things I mentioned really don't amount to shit? Do you really think that maybe using video game characters, sculptures, art really doesn't prove a point, one way or the other? Either way, once again, I am the Ineradicable Iconoclast, and I'll see you around.